For 2025, Polaris has simplified their RZR product lineup, made it easier to understand which usage scenario and therefore which rider each of their RZR products is best suited for. Now, they haven't changed any names or removed or added any new models. They've just made it more clear as to where each model fits. There are now 3 distinct categories of RZRs: trail, multi-terrain, and wide open. The trail category includes the 50 and 60-inch models with double A-arms front and rear. The multi-terrain category includes the 64-inch wide trailing arm equipped models, and the wide open category is home to both the 72-inch wide models. I think this makes things really simple to understand. If you're the type of rider who takes things a little bit easier and finds themselves most often on tighter trails, then the 50 to 60-inch wide trail models are your best choice. If you're still a bit of a trail rider but like to ramp things up a bit, the trailing arm equipped RZR XP and Pro XP at 64 inches wide and with 114 and 181 horsepower are going to make riding faster trails a lot more exciting. And finally, if you're a desert rider or someone who spends all their time in wide open spaces, then the wide open vehicles at 72 inches wide and with 181 and 225 horsepower are going to give you the ultimate off-road experience. The multi-terrain category is what best suits my riding style. I live on the East Coast, so we don't have massive deserts or endless wide open fire roads. We have bush trails, like you see here. And while the models in the trail category would work for me, I do like to ride a bit harder than they're intended for, so the multi-terrain units are perfect. I get more stability, more suspension travel, and more horsepower. I've spent a lot of time in the naturally aspirated RZR XP and can say with confidence that if you're looking for a vehicle in this category that doesn't break the bank but still gives you all the excitement you can handle, the XP is a great choice. Today, I've got my hands on the absolute top-of-the-line multi-terrain unit, the Pro XP. It comes in 3 flavors: Sport, Premium, and Ultimate. This is the Ultimate. There are 2 ways to categorize the changes a manufacturer makes to a current model in their lineup. There are makeovers and there are complete redesigns. A makeover typically includes a lot of visual updates with a sprinkling of mechanical improvements, whereas a redesign is usually new from the ground up. Based on those definitions, the 2025 RZR Pro XP has been given a pretty significant makeover. All you have to do is look at it to see that it's not the same as the 2024 model. Literally all of the body panels are different. They're sleeker, they fit better, and they offer some unique functionality. For instance, the scoops on either side of the hood are functional. They're designed to direct fresh air into both the driver and passenger side footwell areas. This helps keep the rider cooler and cleaner as the fresh air coming in helps to push the warm and dusty air out of the cabin. The center hood scoop is also functional as it hides the CVT and engine air intakes. Full doors are something we've been begging for since the Pro XP was first released, and it's something that original model should have come with from the beginning. These doors are excellent. They're fully finished on the inside, they've got a great armrest, and they have weather sealing all around the bottom. The hood itself has been designed to offer better out-front sightlines for the driver, and, backed by popular demand, is the FANG LED accent lighting. But for 2025, the accent lighting on the Ultimate Edition is animated when you first turn the key on. Does this add performance to the Pro XP? No, but it does add mental horsepower, which I'm convinced is almost as important. The interior has also been completely redesigned. The new dash looks fantastic and is color matched to the graphics. There are also new storage bins above the passenger grab handle and above the center stack. And it also has new doors. These ones hold themselves up when they're open and lock themselves tight when they're closed. Interior accent lighting looks cool, and a new full-color gauge cluster on the steering column looks high-end and is extremely easy to read and easy to use. Excellent high-back, well-bolstered seats are comfortable and supportive, and the 4-point harnesses are a welcome inclusion, though I would like to point out they are the fixed versions, not the retractable units. I like that everything's within easy reach here. The ride command display, the shifter, the switch panel, they're all right where you expect them to be. There's even a center armrest with a little storage bin underneath that you might miss unless you're looking for it. The tilting and telescoping steering column isn't new, but is such a great feature, and it makes getting into the perfect driving position easy. There is one notable mechanical change in 2025 though. Low range gearing has been lowered even further to help with slow speed maneuvering and crawling. This is important because the Pro XP does not include any throttle modes, so anything that can be done to smooth out its 181 horsepower at slower speeds is very welcome. Now let's take a look at what you get when you upgrade to the Ultimate package in 2025. There are some changes here as well. For starters, only the Ultimate gets a roof, which is a new design. The Ultimate also gets a completely new Rockford Fosgate Stage 4 audio system with 4 component speakers, 2 tweeters, and a powered 10-inch subwoofer. In my opinion, this is the best sounding audio system in the business. The bass from the sub is incredible, and the clarity from the other 6 speakers is fantastic. If you're the type of person who likes to listen to music while you ride, this is the system for you. DYNAMIX 2.0 is still standard on the Ultimate package and includes all the same features found in last season's Pro XP, including controls on the steering wheel. After spending a long day on the trail adjusting all the suspension settings, I noticed that the bass damping settings on the Pro XP are on the stiff side. I felt that, even in comfort mode, the ride was still a little harsher than I would have liked, to the point where I didn't need to use the middle setting all day no matter where I was riding. In my opinion, the comfort setting should be extremely soft and reserved only for slow speed riding. The sport setting should be set up for higher speed riding through bigger bumps, and the firm setting should be reserved for only the roughest terrain and biggest jumps. I don't think this is necessarily a DYNAMIX programming issue. I think it's the base valving of the shocks themselves. The overall base valving needs to be softened up a bit. And with that said, the Pro XP does ride great when you're on the gas, and the ride isn't terrible at slower speeds. I just know it could be better. Now let's talk about how the Pro XP handles on the trail. Now this is listed as a multi-terrain unit, so we did test it in multiple different types of terrain. On faster trails, the handling is fantastic. It's precise yet totally predictable. Even when you're pushing it hard in the corners, it never does anything to surprise you in a bad way. It holds its line even when the trails are rough. Likewise, slower speed handling on tighter trails is also excellent. The power steering settings are spot on and the turning radius is more than adequate for tighter situations. On faster trails, the throttle is tuned perfectly. At higher speeds, it's easy to modulate, doesn't offer any noticeable lag, and it feels endless, like it just keeps pulling and pulling the longer you hold the pedal to the floor. At slower speeds, as in slower trail speeds that aren't yet slow enough for low range, the throttle feels jumpy and abrupt. If the terrain is rough, it's hard to keep the throttle steady and smooth. I really do think having throttle modes is a necessity when you're dealing with 181 horsepower. In low range, at crawling speeds though, the throttle is easy to modulate. You can creep your way over big rocks and smoothly pick your way over large obstacles with ease. I am really surprised at how much of a difference the lower low range makes at crawling speeds and when things get really technical. The 30-inch Trailmaster XT 2.0 tires do a great job of getting traction on all types of terrain, from loose surfaces to hard-packed trails to rocks. The only place they struggled was in the mud, where the tighter tread pattern clogged up easily, but these are not intended to be a mud tire. Combine the excellent traction of the tires with Polaris's flawless, isolated extreme performance, true on-demand 4x4 system, and you've got a vehicle that gets traction where there simply appears to be no traction at all. Now, I've already talked about how the DYNAMIX system is tuned, but the 20 inches of front and 22 inches of usable wheel travel from the Pro XP's arched A-arms up front and trailing arms with arched lower links in the back give this vehicle an almost bottomless suspension feel. You can push it as hard as you want and it feels like you're never even close to finding the limits of its suspension travel. In the rocks, this much suspension results in a high level of suspension articulation. Combine the articulation with the improved front sightlines and you've got a very capable crawler. While it is true that pure sport side-by-sides are not known for their cargo hauling capabilities, I do need to point out that the cargo bed in the Pro XP is quite large. It's super deep and has lock and ride points in strategic locations. The depths gives you confidence that what you're hauling isn't likely to fall out. It also makes Polaris's 2-level rack setup an excellent way to carry more than enough cargo and gear for even the longest trips. The final thing I want to say about the Pro XP is this. While it's true that its engine isn't the most powerful engine in the industry, the more I ride it, the more I come away feeling that its 925cc twin-cylinder engine is the best feeling power plant in the industry. That incredible twin-cylinder growl is definitely part of it. But Polaris has simply nailed the way the power is delivered. I've driven all the other higher horsepower side-by-sides, and while they are certainly impressive, every time I get back in a turbocharged Polaris RZR, I just come away feeling like this is the one I'd want. And this is how I feel overall about the RZR Pro XP in 2025. The updates it's received this season have taken an already amazing side-by-side and made it even better in every way.